Okay, so we are going to do the second part. Now we're going to take that little number that we found that completes the perfect square trinomial, and we're going to use that to solve our quadratic equation. Okay, this looks a little messy, but just try to stick with me, okay? Here's what we're starting with. X squared minus 4x minus 6 equals 0. Step 1, jump the c over the fence. So this negative 6 is going to jump. Now we end up with x squared minus 4x equals positive 6. Then we're going to go to step 2. We're going to find that number that completes a square. So we're going to end up with negative 4 divided by 2 squared. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4, correct? And we're going to take that 4 and we're going to add it to both sides. We have 6 plus 4 equals 10, and then we're just going to add it here. Then we're going to factor off the left side. X squared minus 4x plus 4 will factor off into, I don't know if you need to do this, plus 4. It's going to be 2 and 2, right? Negative and negative. So we have x minus 2 squared equals 10. And now we have to take the square root. But remember, when you take the square root, the answer could be positive or negative, correct? So we're going to end up with x minus 2 equals positive square root of 10. That's a positive. X minus 2 equals negative square root of 10. Are you with me? So then we're going to add 2 to all four sides, right? X minus 2 equals positive square root of 10. X minus 2 equals negative square root of 10. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. And over here we get x equals positive 2 plus square root of 10. And here we get x equals negative. Well, no, it's still positive. Positive 2 minus square root of 10. It's not a very pretty one, but that is the answers, okay? Let's see if we can find one that works better. Okay, let's try this one. X squared plus 16x plus 15 equals 0. Step 1, jump the fence. So this 15 is going to go over. We've got x squared plus 16x equals negative 15. Okay. Step 2, we're going to find that number that makes our beautiful little perfect square trinomial, right? So we have 16 divided by 2 squared. 16 divided by 2 is 8 squared. 8 squared is 64. So now we're going to add 64 to both sides. X squared plus 16x plus 64 equals, what's negative 15 plus 64? $49. Positive 49, right? Did I do that right? Yep, positive 49. Okay. So now we're going to factor this new perfect square trinomial, this guy right here, correct? And let's see, we had an 8. That means it's going to be an 8. So we have x, both positive, plus 8 squared equals 49. And now we're going to take the square root of both sides, and this is going to be a positive and a negative. So we have x plus 8 equals the square root of 49. X plus 8 equals negative square root of 49. So this is going to be 7, correct? X plus 8 equals 7. X plus 8 equals negative 7. Minus 8, minus 8. X is negative 1. X is negative 15. That makes sense? Let's try one more just to make sure we know what we're doing here, okay? Step 1, jump the fence with C. We got x squared plus 14x equals negative 48. Now we're going to do the step 2, b divided by 2 squared. So we got 14 divided by 2 squared. Well, 14 divided by 2 is 7, right? 7 squared is 49. So we're going to add 49 to both sides. Negative 48, positive 49, that's 1, correct? Now we're going to factor this new perfect square trinomial. The number it's going to factor into is whatever you found right up there. So the number we're going to go is x, they're both positive, plus 7 squared equals 1. Now we're going to take the square root of both sides, positive and negative. So we got x plus 7 equals positive 1. X plus 7 equals negative 1. Minus 7, x might be negative 6. Minus 7, x could be negative 8. Make sense? If you just keep to the 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll have no problem. Okay, last one. You should stop this right now and try it on your own, okay? Jump the fence, x squared plus 10x equals positive 56. b divided by 2 squared. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 squared is 25. I'm going to add 25 to both sides. X squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 56 plus 25 is 81, right? And now I'm going to factor this out, and it's going to factor out into x plus, what do we get here? We had a 5, right? 5 squared equals 81. Excuse me. And now we're going to take the square root, and it's positive and negative square root. Okay, x plus 5 equals, what's the square root of 81? It's 9. Positive 9. X plus 5 equals negative 9. Minus 5, x equals 4. Minus 5, x equals negative 14. There we go. Makes sense? It's not very difficult. It looks more complicated than it is. Just keep the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will be wonderful. You'll be fine.